Alright everyone, so I'm shooting a beaver skinning video today. Another one, I've shot some in the past. I'm going to do kind of a more detailed video, hopefully. You can all see what's going on here. But I have, I have my main skinning knife. This one here is for, opening the beaver up and whatnot. I have my steel. And then I have a hatchet, to chop, I'm going to chop the feet and the tails off here. Let's see if I can. So, if you got this hatchet isn't that sharp, if I were to put this on a grinder, I could make it so I could get these feet off in just a couple swings. But since I'm not going 100 miles an hour today, I'm just going to cut around the feet. Got the tail here. With a good sharp knife, you can actually cut right through the tail if you want to. There's like some cartilage in there. See, I just broke that right there. And I'll go right through it. There's the tail. Tail's gone. So I'm gonna cut around all the feet here quick. Front feet too. I know like you could just cut this and spin this off, but then you'll have the ball of that foot up top there, and that's kind of a pain to skin around. And with the way I skin, it's much easier. So you can see I've cut around all the feet now, and yes, it's it can be dangerous. Just see that, cut all the feet off. Oh, let's see here. There we go. Same thing, back feet. My back foot is off. All right. Now, if you have a carpet knife, you can actually go into the lip right here and just pull it right down to here, and that'll actually open the beaver wide up. But I don't. I got my knife here, and you start right center of the beaver, right below the tail, and you go up just to the bottom of the caster there where it starts. You pull that out, and you go right in below, right in above it. Just make a small incision, and you go right up the center of the stomach here, all the way up, right up to the bottom of that bottom tooth there. Okay, keep going. And once again, like I said, if you got a really sharp knife, it'll cut like butter right up to that bottom lip. Okay, so now we have the beaver open. What I like to do is I like to grab it, and I'll peel a little bit back to start with. Got my knife here, and you just start right, I've done this lots of times, but you don't want to get too close to the hide because then you'll cut the hide. Practice, but you want to go about midway, take it nice and easy. You go all the way around the beaver here. You see me going all the way down to the rib cage there. I'm gonna get by the hind quarters here. You get right in between the caster and that there. Okay? And here you cut right on the edge of that caster. Work your way down. Okay? You have this here, there's a lot of gristle here, and you want to stay remotely close to the beaver when you get to this spot, because you can easily cut the fur right there. In fact, you can see I got close, but I'm not close enough where I'm going to worry about it. Then you get to this back leg. You can see the back leg is kind of exposed here. Now this is where cutting that foot all the way off comes in handy, because I can go right around this like this. Okay. And then now that ball's not there, I can just go. Look at that. See that? Keep that nice and flat, and go right under that leg. There you go, and that leg's all the way opened up, just like that. Get up to the front leg, go right next to the mouth, and pretty much do the same thing. Skin, right down here. Okay, there's that leg. You just cut a little bit around that leg. There's the top of that knob right there. Okay. I grab my hand, and I got my fingers here, and I got it rolled back. And you see that? Just cut right underneath that foot, and there's that hole. Same thing. Go right down, just like that. Okay. So now I have my beaver skinned, about halfway. I roll it over on the side, and now you can see, you can just skin this beaver, and I try to get it to about the middle. You can see him going here, and when you're skinning the hind end of these beaver, you got to be very careful, because right when you get right back here is where, you know, if you're going to cut a beaver, this is where it's going to be, because there's no fat or nothing really between the hide and the bone here. So you want to be very careful. I'm gonna try to turn this so you guys can get a view here. Just stay as close to the beaver as you can. I will literally try to run my knife right along the bone. I'm sitting here, I got this gristle. Same thing, keep your knife as close as you can to the beaver itself. I'm getting my knife right down in there, so right down in the meat. I mean, you can spend an extra couple minutes scraping some fat off, which is fine, versus, you know, trying to fix a hole. Okay. Let's see here. Now I got my beaver skin past the halfway point here. So now I'm just gonna roll it over and basically do the same thing with the other side here. Okay, have the beaver here. Just take a couple small swipes at a time to get it started. See that? How it opens it up really nicely? Same thing up here by the chest. Right up here by the neck. You guys can see that. I hope you can. Okay. Here's the neck. Once again, there's that front foot. Okay. So I know that this is meat here, not fur. The hide is down here. So I'll grab this and I'll actually make a little cut right here. See that? See that? How the leg is popped out like that because that ball, that foot is gone. Look at that, right underneath it. I mean, you'll notice, and if you've skinned beaver before and you're looking for something different, you'll notice that skinning around the ball of that foot is the most time-consuming part, really. Back here by the caster. See that? Skinning here. Here comes that leg again. So I'm just going to skin down a little bit. There's that leg. See that? Roll it up. There's the back foot. Right underneath it. Just like that. There you go. That leg is opened up all the way. Now I flip the beaver on its side. And I can skin right along the edge of that fur line. See? Now I'm getting to the spot where I'm already opened up on the other side. And I'm already past the hard part on this side. So now you're just pretty much peeling it forward, cutting, peeling it forward, cutting. Okay. Now I'm up to this point here. I'm up to where the head is, and you just want to stick right close to the fur, because this is also a kind of a tender area, especially the back of the head where the beaver is. See that right there? That's the skull, and that's actually the fur. Just take your time, work your way around it. You're going to come to the ears here. There's an ear there, another ear here. Okay, just like so. You slowly work your way around the head of the beaver. You're going to come up to the eyes here next. Stay close to the hide, or to the skull. That way you're not going to cut the beaver anywhere. And now it's just a matter of rolling your knife around, working it. There you go. Now I'm to the nose. Cut the nose off. There we go. And that's how I skin a beaver. This can go much faster. I could do this, in a couple minutes if I wanted to. If I was inside someplace, I'm just doing it on the tailgate of my truck with a pallet, and just some knives to keep my truck, and this, rusty old hatchet. If I really wanted to get in and process beaver, I would get a hatchet with the wide blade on the end. I would keep it razor sharp knives. My skinning platform would actually be about as high as my tailgate. Inside, it'd have to be solid wood, so whenever I strike it, it doesn't move or shift. That's the ideal conditions. If you can actually go and do that, and make that setup yourself, that'd be, the bee's knees. But anyway, that is how I skin a beaver. You know, I try to do it in a little bit better detail for you guys. I know I have a skinning video out there already, but this one here, I felt I needed to do something a little more in detail for people that are just learning how to skin or whatnot, you know, or anybody that wants to just do it, you know, a touch up on your skills or whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching my videos, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe.